Hey guys, so it's Thursday is the day that I'm filming this, and I finally feel like I'm over my jet lag. It's taken a week and a half, and I don't care what anyone tells you with the whole getting sunshine, exercise, don't nap, just get right back onto your schedule or whatever, which is what I tried to do. Of course, your sleep pattern is all off. I don't care what anyone says. It takes a while to get over a 16-hour time difference. So hallelujah. I feel about 90% back to normal. I think by tomorrow, by the weekend, I will be good to go. So, what else is going on? Well, we're going to be doing a full face of Japanese makeup using Japanese brushes, most of which I got while I was in Japan, and I wanted to put all of this on for you guys. I also got something from Koh Gen Do, which is a Japanese brand, in the mail. So they were kind enough to send this to me, but they just released, and I believe this is limited edition, but it's a sheer moist powder, and it's a loose powder. I'm excited to give it a shot, but I also have some Suku and some Addiction to try. And before we get into the makeup, I just want to show you my nails. So I deviated from my black nails. I wanted something a little bit more Halloween, autumnal, fall appropriate. So I got this like pumpkin-y orange. I thought it was a little bit darker. I think the swatch of it looked a little bit darker, but I kind of like it. It's growing on me. But anyway, I'll have the color down below in my description box. It's just a gel that I get at the salon. But I really like it, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I think I've had this up in maybe another video of mine. But I have my skull candlesticks here for the occasion. Those candlesticks have been around the block a few thousand times. All right, so let's go ahead and start with foundation. I've got the Suku Nude Wear Liquid. I still have it in the box. And this is the one that comes with the dropper. So it's like a serum foundation, and it's very, very thin. You can probably see the consistency running there. So as I understand it, you are to shake this very, very well before every application. You should probably do that with any liquid product, but with this one especially. And I have the color 003, and it has an SPF 19 PA++, two pluses. All right, I just dropped like 5 drops on the back of my hand. Now, I did get a little bit of color while I was in Japan, and when I purchased this, I had that little bit of color. So I'm already thinking that this color is going to be too deep for me, but we will go for it. You know, and the funny thing is, when I was in drugstores there in Japan, all of the foundation shades looked way too pale even for me. And so I think 003 may have been the darkest color at the Suku counter, and I thought that's probably going to be fine for me, but I do think it's actually a little bit too dark. Yeah, that's too dark. I mean, it's a good match for my forehead. It's like between my forehead and my jaw neck area, but I think it is a little bit too dark. Okay, we're just going to go with it because that's all I have, but I am going to put it onto half of my face here. I am going to use my Shikuda 812 brush. I can't remember. This is like their cream something brush, but this is basically undyed goat hair. So it is cream and liquid friendly. I'm just going to use this to blend in. This brush is so soft. I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to pick it up with the brush. I feel like when I dot it on my skin, I'm not getting a very even coverage there. Yeah, that is way too dark for my neck, so I'm going to bring it down. All right, there it is on half of my face. I think if I were to go back to that Suku counter, I would get the 02 shade, but I think I can get away with this one, especially if I bring it down my neck. And my forehead is actually a decent match for my forehead. So not too bad, not too bad. The finish is definitely glowy. I think you guys can probably see how glowy it is all around my cheekbone, my jawline here, even on my forehead. If you're new here, I have very dry skin, so I really enjoy foundations like this with some glow to them. There's absolutely no fragrance to this, which is amazing. And you know, the finish and the texture of this actually reminds me of the Tom Ford Soleil Glow Foundation. This guy right here. It has like a similar coverage. It's like light, medium. It's very, very watery and there's that glow. So I would say it's very similar to that Tom Ford foundation. But let me go ahead and finish applying it to the rest of my face and I'll be right back. All right, there it is all over my face. I feel like it's definitely way too dark. Now that I have it all over my face, I can really see like the difference between my face and like my neck and my chest. I brought it down, you can probably see, I brought it all the way down to here, and it's like, I think I would just need to wear a buttoned up shirt with this. And the coverage I think is a little bit more than light medium, which is what I said before. I think this is actually closer to a medium. There's actually some really decent coverage for this really lightly textured foundation, which I'm surprised at. So that's the Nude Wear Liquid from Suqqu. All right, I didn't get any concealer while I was in Japan, but I did take out my Clé de Peau, which is a Japanese brand. I did take out my Radiant Corrector for Eyes in Ivory, and I wonder if this is going to look a little bit too light in contrast with this 03 shade from Suku, but I'm just gonna go ahead and dot maybe just a little bit under my eyes. I think it'll be fine. It'll just look like it's very brightening. I'm gonna take the same Shakuta brush and blend that out. All right, next up, let's try the new Koh Gen Do Sheer Moist Powder. When I was in Japan, I saw Koh Gen Do everywhere, which is really nice to see. It's a brand I know that's been around for a very long time. It's very, very highly respected. Their products are amazing. So it was really nice to see it everywhere, because here in America, you just don't see it everywhere. It's really hard to find sometimes in store. So that was definitely nice to see. But here is the packaging. Ooh, it's very, very reflective. It actually reminds me of the Sheer Lucent Powder. And then it has like a nice rounded bottom. Here is a nice, generous, ooh, really nice, generous puff. And then I'm going to rip off the sticker. It's a net. I really like nets. So I have two powder brush options here. This is the Chikuhodo G9. This has like a round ferrule, and this is the G8, which has a pinched ferrule, so it's a little bit flatter. I think I want the paddle, because I think I'll be brushing this powder. That's usually how I work setting powder versus finishing powder. So I'm going to use the G8. Yes, the G8. I'm going to just tap this in. I'm just going to pat the powder on before I start sweeping away. But I'll apply it to half of my face first. Then I'll sweep. Get rid of any excess powder. Ooh, that looks nice. So I have powder on this side, no powder on this side. I do feel like, am I imagining things? Hold on. Wow, it's definitely like softened the appearance of my skin. It hasn't necessarily mattified it completely, because you can still see a lot of shine there, but it's definitely brought it down a bit. Like this side is much shinier, but it looks really, really natural. And when I look at it on my forehead here, it looks a little bit lighter than it does without the powder. So I wonder if it lightens up the foundation a little bit. I don't know. If you guys can see it, let me know. But I feel like it does just a hint, which is great considering the foundation I put on. It's a little bit deep for me. Okay, let me finish applying it to the rest of my face and we'll take another look. There's no fragrance to this powder either. Ooh, I really like this powder. I'm just a huge fan of Koh Gen Do powders in general. Their natural lighting powder is by far one of my favorites. I would say this one versus that one, like this one I feel like really kind of like blurs and softens up my skin a little bit. I feel like it has like a little bit of like a filter effect, but I do think that it's lightened up my foundation a little bit. The natural lighting powder, I don't feel like changes the color of my foundation at all. I don't feel like it has any coverage per se, but it has just a hint of glow to it that it just leaves your skin with the most amazing like finish. It's just absolutely beautiful. All right, well, big thank you to Koh Gen Do for sending this over to me. I'm always so excited when a box appears from them, because they don't come out with a lot of new products often, but when they do, they're like amazing. All right, let's go ahead and bust open this Addiction Compact 10 limited edition Eye Conscious Addiction. I think Compact 10 is just the name of this empty compact, and it's a limited edition. And I think this particular compact, because I purchased this kind of pre arranged, but you know, you can buy this compact and buy Addiction products separately and put them in. But this pre-configured palette is part of their 10th anniversary celebration. And when I hauled this in my Japan haul video, someone commented saying that the creator behind Addiction, who was like an assistant to NARS or whatever, she's actually left the company. So I think maybe this is like her last collection with Addiction, but I thought that was really, really sad. Hopefully the like tone of the brand won't change too much, because I think it's beautiful. It's so aesthetically beautiful, and I've always appreciated it, and I was so happy to get my hands on it while I was in Japan. So anyway, let me go ahead and try this cheek product. It's a blush, but I think it could be used kind of as a contour blush thing. I'm going to use my Hakuhodo G-line brush. They don't have which brush it is actually imprinted on the handles. So I will leave, of course, a link to all of the brushes and everything that I'm using, if I can, down below in my description box. But this is squirrel and goat hair, and it's incredibly soft, but it's a pinched, angled brush. And I'm just going to work it kind of all over my cheek contour blush area. It's a very, very soft color. It's taking me quite a few layers to actually get it to show up on my cheeks, but it's really pretty. You know, it just has such a soft look to it. One thing I like about Japanese makeup, at least the makeup that I've come across, and I'm completely generalizing here, but it's a lot softer in general than other makeup, the makeup I think that we're used to, and it's just great for real life and every day. It maybe is not the best if you're looking for like an Instagram look, or if you're looking to make like a really strong impact, you know, on video or anything, but it's perfect for real life and every day. And I love it. It makes it very, very easy to use too, because it's almost like mistake proof. Oh, but I love that. It just gives me a little bit of brightness. It gives me just a little bit of contour. It's a really pretty all over cheek color. And for highlighter, I'm actually going to cheat a little bit. I have a Clé de Peau cream eyeshadow, and I purchased this. This was a limited edition, I believe. That was part of maybe their spring collection earlier this year, but this is in the shade 308, and it's just this beautiful champagne color, and it's gorgeous on the eyes. I mean, it makes a beautiful, beautiful cream eyeshadow, but it also makes for a lovely highlight. So I'm just going to dab this a little bit onto my cheeks there. Isn't that pretty? And blend that out. All right, and moving on to eyebrows. This is something I have used on camera for you guys before, but this is the Suku Volume Eyebrow Mascara in the color 01 Khaki. And this is probably my like close second brow mascara to the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel, which you guys know is my absolute favorite. But this one is very, very nice. And the color is so interesting because it really is like the color of this cap, which is a very, very cool toned khaki green. It just works really, really well. There's like two major differences, I would say, between this one and the Tom Ford. The formula of this is actually a little bit wetter, so I feel like I have to be just a little bit more careful and not, you know, get too much product onto my eyebrows. Otherwise it just looks, I think it just looks crazy. And there's no like fibers in there, which I really, really like because I have very sparse eyebrows. But other than that, I think it works really, really well. So that's the Suku brow mascara in 01. And now let's move on to eyeshadow. So I have these eyeshadows here from Addiction, these four. Obviously I can use actually whatever. This is what they call eyeliner. This is eyebrow, which I just don't really use eyebrow powder. And then I also purchased a single Suku shadow, which I really want to use. This is one of their Tone Touch Eyes in color 06. And it's just this beautiful, beautiful like shimmery taupe. So I think what I may do is actually use this color as like an all over lid shade, because all of these are very bright. I don't know that I want to start there. So I'm going to start with this blush color, and I'm going to use my Hakuhodo eyeshadow brush. And I'm just brushing that all over the lid. It's kind of sweeping back and forth. Okay, so I have like a nice layer of that blush down. I am going to move over into this pink color, and I'm going to sweep that from like the inner portion of my lid over to the middle portion. And I'm going to try this Shakuda 823 brush, and this is like their blender brush. It's really quite pointy, which I think will be great for me wanting to get into that inner corner of my eye. Ooh. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, I'm going to use my Hakuhodo S127 brush. I had this brush already, so this you would not have seen in my Japan haul video, but this is a great like flat shader brush that I really, really enjoy. So I'm going to use this and go into this deep brown shade here. And I'm going to add this to the outer corner of my lid. And I just swept it in a little bit. I am trying to keep this look very, very soft. So I don't want to add too much of this dark brown because it is fairly pigmented. I'm going to take this Suqqu brush, the original one I used, and blend this out. I added a little bit more shadow on this side than I did to this side. All right, and now I'm going to take the Suku Tone Touch Eyes in 06. I'm going to use my finger and I'm just going to tap that onto like the majority of my lid because I really want to see how this looks on the lids. Oh, it's pretty. It's more pigmented than I was anticipating. So it's kind of just blocking out the pink that I put down, but let's see if we can blend that in nicely. Oh, it's actually making like kind of like a peachy color. Again, I'm going back to that Suku brush and I'm just going to brush out the edges here. Pretty. What a beautiful, soft, watercolory look. Oh, I really like these shadows. All right, and for eyeliners, I really want to try these like cake liners they have in here. So they have this like really beautiful, deep kind of like peacock teal blue here. And then they have this beautiful antique gold color. So I'm going to use this Suku brush. It's like a smudger brush or smoky brush, they call it. It's 824. Well, let's go into this blue shade. Why not, right? That has quite a bit of fallout. I'm now wondering if maybe these are meant to be worked wet. You know what? I'm going to try using these wet. So I have my Esom T05 brush. I'm going to just wet it just a little bit with some MAC Fix Plus. And now I'm going to dip into that blue color. Oh yeah, I think that works much better. Ooh, really pretty. All right, so there's the eyeliner applied. Definitely much, much better worked wet. All right, let me curl my lashes and then we can apply some mascara. I did not get any new mascara in Japan, but I do have a couple of options in terms of Japanese makeup brands and mascara. So I have my Koh Gen Do here. I also have that Can Make mascara, which is like a drugstore Japanese mascara, and one of my amazing viewers recommended it to me, and it works great if you want to keep a curl. And the version I have is clear, but I think there are tinted ones. So I think what I'm going to do is apply some of the Koh Gen Do, and then I will apply the Can Make over it. And it has just a slight curve to the applicator. Now I'm going to apply some of the Can Make over it. All right, and for lips, I have this lip color in the Addiction palette, and I also have my Suku Moisture Rich lipstick in that funky like gray color. It's number 113. I'm wondering if I can pair these two. Well, let's try it. If it doesn't work, we can always take it off. That's my favorite thing I think about lipstick. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my finger for this. And this is a nude enough shade where I feel like it's okay. If it was like a deep red or something, I would definitely go on a deeper hunt for a lip brush, but with this color I think it's fine. Oh, this is very creamy. Oh, it's very, very sheer. It's a lot more sheer than I thought it was going to be. It's like giving me the most subtle like concealer lip look. Huh. Well, let's try layering the Moisture Rich lipstick over it. See what happens. I think with that nude color down, it made this lipstick look even more kind of gray and cool toned. I really like this Suku lip color. I think it's so cool. It's like the most subtle goth lip look you could do ever. I love it. Anyway, that is it for my full face of Japan makeup and using some of the brushes that I acquired while I was in Japan. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comments section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. And subscribe down below if you haven't already. I'll see you in my next video.